Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to entitle this video the reason why I switched from Boost Mobile Cellular to Consumer Cellular. I had been with Boost for a long time. Didn't have any problems with Boost. Service was pretty reliable. Price was reliable or reasonable. And then this happened. I got an email from them. This is about maybe 7 months ago. Because at that current particular time, I was using this phone. Love this phone. You know, this is all I need. I'm an old dude. I don't need to be on the internet on my phone because I got the internet at home. If I want to watch something, I watch it on my big screen TV instead of a tiny screen TV. So this fit my situation perfectly. So I got an email stating that in the next 2 months that this phone, they will not be able to support this phone anymore, meaning that it's obsolete. You know, they won't be allowing me to use it anymore. So I'm like, okay, no problem with that. I understand. So the reason why I end up changing phones for that reason and another reason, I was getting a lot of robocalls, you know, so I was like, okay, you know, I need another phone anyway, since they're no longer going to be supporting this phone within the next couple of months anyway. So the only thing that was available at that time, and this is where they were going, was these big ass phones, you know, these big old iPhones or Androids. And again, I just make calls and every now and then a text back and forth to my daughter. That's it. No need for any more internet stuff or watching again. So right out the gate, I know it's going to have a problem with this phone. And the first reason is obvious. Too fucking big for me. Can't fit in your pocket. I got a nephew that comes over for, events like birthdays and holidays. And 90% of the time when he leaves, his phone is still here. Why? Because it's too big to fit in his pocket. So he set it somewhere and forget that he set it somewhere and he leave. So I'm struggling with this big phone, carrying it around, you know, can't put it in my pocket. And then the problem I had with this phone was when you turn it on, you get all these prompts. So I stick it in my pocket. I take it out of my pocket. The flashlight's on. I'm like, I don't even know how to turn the flashlight on when I want to turn it on. So I was getting a host of triggering commands in my pocket. So I said, okay, I'm going to try to fool this thing. So I went and got one of these things you put on your arm and slid it over here. So when I put it in my pocket, it won't be triggering in that. So it solved that problem. But I'm like, it's very cumbersome to be carrying this big ass phone around in your pocket or just carrying it in your hand like you're crazy. So I was not happy about that. They were forcing me out of what was traditionally working for me for new technology. So when I went back to them, I said, I need another phone because I'm like, this doesn't work for me. Do you have another flip phone? Because I'm like, I'm cool with, you know, if you still have another newer flip phone available. So they gave me this garbage. And I'm going to let you see the brand because you definitely don't want this phone. It's a piece of shit. So the problem I had with this phone right out the gate was I can tell that it was cheaply made than this one. This one is metal. This little thing is metal. This is plastic. So I'm like, okay. So I turn the phone on. It takes sometimes 15 to 20 minutes just to turn on. Or they basically computers now. It was loading up. Took like 30 minutes to load. Kept spinning. So once it finally decides to come on, I'm going in to put in contacts. I mean, that's usually one of the first things you do is take the numbers that you normally, you know, people you call on a regular basis and store in your phone. I couldn't even find that particular icon. I'm like, what's going on here? You know, and I showed it to my wife. I said, here, open this phone up and act like, you know, it's new to you and you're about to use it. She went into to put in contact. She's like, where's the contact? Exactly. So, you know, I was like, this was some garbage. So that's 3 phones. You know, they told me that I couldn't use the phone I was using. Then they forced me to buy this big ass phone that does what it wants to do. Then another problem with this phone is I rarely use my phone. I can count on one hand the people that have my personal cell phone number. And they rarely call me. You know, one of them is for my wife. And it's like, hey, she don't call me because she see me every day. You know, and when I'm out and about, I turn it on. And then when I come home, I shut it down. You know, so I'm conserving the battery because I don't use the phone. So I look up every 3 days, this phone like 18% juice left. I'm like, I haven't even used this phone. When I bring it home, I shut it down. So it ain't like I have it on for days at a time. So it's like, this is some BS. So that was the problem with that phone. Then all of a sudden, also, these phones have a tendency to heat up. I mean, they really heat up. And I remember watching on the news how some of these phones catching on fire. Because when I had it in my pocket and I'm feeling this warmth, I pull it out. That's because the flashlight was on. I didn't even activate it. And like I told you, I don't even know how to activate the flashlight if I needed to turn it on. So that's 3 phones. The one that I can't use no more. Then the big one that they gave me. Then I want a flip phone, something small to put in my pocket. This is some garbage. So I decided at that point, let me just say this. Yeah, because I almost forgot about that. So once I realized this wasn't going to work out for me, I said, well, okay. I used to have this phone that, Boost Mobile, activated. So let me see if I can go back to my other phone, because this phone was as good as this one, So I'm like, okay, I go up there. I said, can I switch my phone to this phone? She said, okay. So they charged me $15. Long story short, they couldn't do it. They don't know why they couldn't do it, but they couldn't do it. So I walked out of there after paying $15 and still didn't get what I paid for, which was to switch over. I find out later that unfortunately this one is no longer supported by the network neither. And I would think that the person that was working there could have checked and found out and said, sir, this is an outdated phone by our standards and you can't activate it. She didn't know neither. So I wasted $15 on switching over, which I didn't, and I didn't get my money back. So I said, screw this. I've been seeing advertisement for Consumer Cellular. So you know what? And then they were cheaper. I said, you know what? Let me check them out. And I'll make a long story short. One of the big issues I did have with Boost was when you needed to contact them, which was every blue moon, you couldn't do it. You go in, you get the Boost number, and then you get shuffled around through these automated menus. I'm like, I just need to talk to a live person. And I went through the particular menu and icon that I supposed to be able to do that. Couldn't do it. So somebody told me you got to push number 7 or something like that, where it says your phone has been lost or stolen, and then you can talk to a live person, which I did. And actually I was able to talk to a live person. So that really soured me on Boost Mobile, because I'm like, when I need to contact somebody every blue moon, you got to set it up where you're basically telling me as a customer, we don't want to talk to you. You're going to have to deal with the automated menu. And if what you're looking for is not there, you out of luck. So that's what really killed me on them too. So then I go to Consumer Cellular and I contact them, and they had a number where I can talk to a live, knowledgeable person. Hallelujah. So we did the deal over the phone because I had called them to ask them about a specific question, because I was going to do this online, activation. She said, well, sir, I can help you right now. So you don't have to go back to go through the internet. I'm like, great. She was extremely knowledgeable, very courteous, very pleasant, very professional. Every question that I had, she was able to answer. So she got me taken care of over the phone. My phone came 2 days later. It's a heavy metal phone, like the old one, Boost, instead of this plastic garbage that Boost now is giving you. And this is the only flip phone available on Boost. And so the only thing they're doing is making you make that transition to that big old smartphone. And again, that's fine if that's something that you use. I just need to make a call and send a text. That's it. I have no interest in going on the internet or what they call it, what's they tracking or something like that. When you going somewhere and you putting your address in the phone, I don't need all that stuff. So the phone came. And another thing I liked about them was on YouTube, they got videos. There's about 14 videos that walk you through every function on this phone. And what I really was impressed with, the fact that they broke them up instead of a whole hour-long video about this phone, and you only need to tap into 15 minutes of that video, because it's like, this is the only area I'm a little confused in. So they break it down. Each video tackles each topic or category on the phone, which I thought was smart. It's like somebody's thinking. So, again, you can just go to this video. There's only 2 minutes long. It's still sitting through an hour video. So I'm impressed with this. I'm impressed with their customer service. The price was cheaper. I think it was about $15 cheaper, because this was like $35 a month. This here is like $20 a month. So I'm very pleased with them. I was able to talk to a live person. There's a number that if I need their assistance, I just quickly called and talked to a person again, instead of getting shuffled through the voicemail merry-go-round thing. So it came, and I had one problem where I couldn't get into the contacts. I'm like, here we go again. So I called her, and long story short, they walked me through the process of resetting the phone, and that came up because for some reason it just didn't come up initially. And I think that was the same problem with this phone, but nobody knew that how to fix it, but they was like, okay, if it's not there, sir, let's just do a quick reset. Did a reset, it was all there. Phone works fine. It's small enough to fit in my pocket. I got a camera if I need one. There's some other features that, a radio, because when I, do my laundry, I plug in my headphones, and I sit there and, while I'm doing my laundry. So a big improvement. And that's the reason why I switched from Boost Mobile to Consumer Cellular. It's cheaper. They have a top-notch customer service staff where, again, on 2 different occasions, I was able to place one call one time and talk to somebody. I had to sit through and hit through prompts. If you're looking for this, push 7. If you look, so that's my story. I'm very pleased with Consumer Cellular. And again, like I said, with Boost, they were my carrier for a long period of time. But when they forced me out of this phone and then forced me into buying a bigger phone, like I told you, I had to put this thing on there. And maybe you guys that are watching say, man, that's a good idea, Morris, man, because I'm having the same problem with my phone. I put it in my pocket. It's dialing people, so you got to cover it up to keep, your leg from moving around and hitting and making commands. So until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.